First of all, I want to say thank you, Susan, for doing this for us. This is after the tutorial. You can see Susan's plaited up Dee's mane, and we're trying to look at that top line muscle. So the muscle that goes along the top of her neck, and she's plaited the mane so she can see the neck, so she can see that line when we see that Dee is using the top line and relaxing those muscles under her neck. Partly because of the breed, partly because she's a bit anxious, this horse tends to brace with the top of her neck. And right there, see when she picks up and she just has that little give and the horse just relaxes down, that's when you can see that muscle come out and really see that line. It's harder to see, of course, on this side. So it's really easy to see when you're working the horse. That was really nice, Susan. You asked her to stop and then you waited until she stopped moving that left front foot. So you're focusing on the right foot. And that's another thing that we talked about in the meeting, which was only focus on one foot. So right here, I like your body position. You can see the way Susan's walking forward. Her shoulder is at the horse's shoulder. Her left hand is resting on the wither, so she can give positive reinforcement via her hand on the wither. She can give the horse a scratch, and she can also give positive reinforcement by saying, good girl. And the negative reinforcement she's using is bit pressure, which she's releasing as soon as Dee relaxes. There, good. You can see how the horse does two things. She slows down and she lowers her head. So what she's doing every time she gives, she's slowing and relaxing. So it's a double bonus for this horse because she is anxious. So just by teaching her this simple lesson, give to the bit, it opens up a dialogue with her. You know, we now have something simple for her to do. I think she's better on this side than the other side. Right there, can you see that's really nice? She's going perhaps slightly too much to the right. She's perhaps bending a little bit too much. And Susan, next time you ask her for reverse arc, you've gone MIA, but next time you ask her for reverse arc, I want you to really think about getting yourself further ahead and turning and facing her neck. So right here, so when you wanted to reverse arc, so you're only watching that right front. At the moment, it's stepping to about 11 o'clock. Asked her to stop, that was good. Okay, right there, she stepped to, sorry, 11 o'clock. My clock is back to front. She actually stepped right across in front of her other front foot. You really want, with reverse arc, you want to go forward first. So if you're on this side of her, you want to step into about 1 o'clock, 1:30 first, get it going around you, and then you need to get further ahead. You've stopped moving for some reason. So don't stop moving, keep going, good, right there. But you're not actually changing your position enough for her. Can you see you're sort of pushing her? But if you actually lift, and I know it's because she's quite tall, and when she gets a bit anxious, her head goes up. So it does mean that you need to lift your hand. So before you put pressure on, lift your hand so that it's higher, and it should be about halfway up her neck. But you also need to move your body. You need to be more forward. You're still back at her shoulder here. So if you want, which is good for what you're asking for, because your hand's away from her neck, so you're asking actually for that left front step to about 11 o'clock. So when you want her to step to 12 o'clock, you need to move further forward and you need to face her. So think about, it might even help you to think about walking into her head, more or less. That's going to make sure that you get far enough forward for Dee to be able to see the difference between you walking at her shoulder and you asking for reverse arc. So when you're asking for same hand, same foot, which is just follow your nose, you're walking forward, your hands in front of you, you're both facing forward, and that's really good. That was really nice. And then when you want reverse arc, you face her into her neck or up towards her head, and you're no longer walking forward. And that way, there's some good steps there, and it looked to me like you were walking much more into her neck there. It's a little bit hard to see. a good idea for anyone that's making good girl. See, your brain position was much better there, but I think you can improve your body position. I think you can exaggerate your body position a bit more for her by moving a little bit further up her neck.
Yes.
I think that'll just make it easier for you. For anyone who's planning on making a video like this, a really good idea is to look through your viewfinder and set out some cones. So you can put cones just going up to the left and the right to how far away or in what sort of area you can stay. So really close to the camera here, we're not going to catch much of you. You're going to keep going out of view. But if you put cones out going at an angle, then you'll know what your sort of triangle is where you need to stay. And that's better. Again, I do think you're going to benefit from moving up her neck. Otherwise, I'm really pleased. You know, I'm really pleased about her shape. Also really pleased about her level of relaxation. She's going much slower. She's more relaxed. Her head's lower. Always forward first. Ask her forward. I don't know if you're carrying a whip or not, but just ask her forward. Try not to pull her forward. And when her head goes up like that when you start, don't go anywhere with the head up. You know, your first thing is relaxation. Okay, so give to the bit, soften up. Right, now let's go. Good, another nice stop. Another really nice stop. Well done.
All right. I think, you know what? I think that's just enough.
Excellent.
Isn't it? I think that's just enough.
Mm-hmm.